From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Addiction is not a moral failing. It's a disease, and it must be treated as such.
Governor Doug Ducey signs executive orders to fight opioid addiction in Arizona by making it harder to get large quantities of addictive drugs.
And knowing if your child is using drugs can be pretty hard. We'll walk you through a program that teaches you how to spot drug use that's hidden in plain sight.
Plus, how veterans are benefiting from a new test that helps doctors prescribe the right medication.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Joey Carrera.
And I'm Kate Pfeiffer. Thank you for joining us. There will be new limits on prescriptions for painkillers.
That's because of an executive order signed by Governor Doug Ducey today.
That limits first fill of all opiate prescriptions purchased through the state to 7 days. And all fills for children.
Governor Ducey used the order to kick off the start of Red Ribbon Week, 7 days that focus on decreasing the use of drugs by teens.
Parents can participate during the week by learning how to spot whether their kids are being pulled into addiction.
Cronkite News reporter Anthony Marroquin shows us how the Hidden in Plain Sight program works.
That's just one of the programs and tools announced by the governor's office today aimed at helping people avoid addiction. But sadly for some, the time for prevention has passed.
All the kids that I work with, 99% of them wish that they could talk to their parents.
Angie Guerin works with people to direct them towards getting help with addiction. But she's also a mother whose children have also suffered with drug abuse, and so she has to do what many seem like a break of trust.
As a mom of 3 teenagers now, I will say that yes, I do go through their rooms.
Many experts say that it's important for parents to go through their kids' rooms if they suspect they may be using drugs, but not many parents know exactly what to look for.
There will be some parents on these tours, these educational tours of the bedroom, who are going to, for the first time possibly, say, I recognize that.
As part of that education, the governor's office has opened the Hidden in Plain Sight exhibit. It's aimed at educating parents about what to look for when going into their child's room. Experts agree that it's also important to know your child and pick up on changes in mood or behavior.
Opioids generally make a person's energy level go down, so you might notice that they're nodding off, maybe eating dinner and kind of going to sleep.
Some advice from parents: look for things that cross the line from normal teenage behavior and have an agreed upon plan before doing anything.
Every kid is totally, completely different, you know, and it's really having that plan beforehand is the most important piece before you do it.
Keeping in mind that addiction is not a failing from either side, but rather something that can happen to anybody. The room will be open for tours through Friday. To register, go to substanceabuse.az.gov. Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is committed to taking a deeper look into the growing problem of opioid addiction here in Arizona. We asked you to share your stories about dealing with addiction. Patrick Sullivan tells us he was addicted to opioids for 10 years and now works in a southern Arizonan methadone clinic to help others fight their addiction. Patrick says his views toward opioid prescriptions are neutral, and they are what people make of them. They can be abused, they can be taken as prescribed. They have legitimate medical purposes, but they have been pushed hard by drug companies, pill mills, and some pharmacies. If you know someone who has been affected by opioid addiction, we want to hear from you. You can go online to cronkitenews.azpbs.org to fill out our online query and share your story.
There's a new test designed to help veterans stay away from opioids and the threat of addiction. Cronkite News reporter Alicia Gonzalez takes us into the lab to show us how it works.
It's just a simple DNA test, and with just a simple swab of your cheek, doctors can tell you exactly how your body will react to different drugs. I found out just how important it is to remember medications aren't one size fits all, even when it comes down to that bottle of Tylenol you have sitting in your medicine cabinet.
I've lost a lot of friends that have committed suicide over the years, and some of them you don't suspect. Others you might suspect that they're kind of swirling that drain, and you reach out to them to try to help, and they won't take the help. and it hurts to lose them.
Craig Sawyer is a Marine and Navy SEAL veteran. He's been in the public eye since he says he was denied care by the Tucson VA. He said many veterans reach out to him via social media asking for advice and help.
Yeah, you wonder, you look back and hey, would this have saved them?
Advanced Genomic Solutions designed a test that looks at a patient's DNA to determine which medications will work best based on genetics. The managing partner is a veteran himself and has seen the problems with wrongly prescribed medication firsthand.
There's a widely known statistic now that looks at 22 veterans a day are actually committing suicide. And many of these people are on different types of medications that may be not working. You know, they're having an unmet need.
The two companies, Advanced Genomic Solutions and Genelex, are hoping to bring that number down by offering their test to veterans at the Phoenix VA.
Our test is designed to look at all the medications that a person may be on and be able to figure out is what they're on working best for them.
After the DNA sample is collected, it goes through a couple machines like these, and the patient gets a printout with results with stop and go signs for each drug.
It's spelled out very easily for these individuals to know what they should be taking or what they can't be taking.
Somebody who is suffering any sort of anxiety and needing medication for that, my gosh, that medication needs to be effective. It needs to have an actual benefit.
The test is completely covered by insurance if veterans go through the VA. The test is also available to anyone who wants to know more about which medications will work best with their genetic makeup. Alicia Gonzalez, Cronkite News.
With so much focus on prescription drug abuse and illegal drugs like marijuana, it's easy to forget about the simple act of smoking a cigarette. It's the #1 cause of preventable death and disease in the U.S. But a new report from the CDC shows young people in Arizona don't want to be part of those statistics. Reporter Allison Hoskins tells us why millennials are kicking the habit.
When you're older, you may be like, okay, well, I'm getting older, like it's whatever. But when you're young, like your body is still so pure that you don't want to ruin it or damage it that young.
And a new report released by the Centers for Disease Control shows that more Arizonans think like Gabrielle Hester. Cigarette smoking has hit an all-time low of 14%. And in the past 5 years, there's been a steady decline in smoking by 18 to 24-year-olds.
Smoking isn't quite the norm that it used to be. So a lot of our work and our policy and advocacy have created, that norm or that image that it's not the norm to smoke.
2014 to 2015 saw the biggest drop in millennial smokers of 7.4%.
My mom did smoke when I was younger, and I saw how much it took over her life. And anywhere we were, she's like, oh, I have to go take a smoke break. And it was just like, I don't want that to be my life, So that kind of influenced me for sure not to get involved with tobacco.
The American Lung Association is trying to reach the younger generation that wants to quit.
About 19,000 people try to quit each day. So we have come up with resources that are available to anyone trying to quit, whether they want to attend a class or want to do it from the comfort of their own home and do a program online or with the mobile app.
Hester believes campaigns against even starting smoking have made a difference.
Back in the day, for sure, it was definitely like an everyday thing and everyone was doing it. But now I think it's just really with all of these truth campaigns and health and everything, everyone's just kind of like not really into it.
In Phoenix, Allison Hoskins, Cronkite News.
For more information on how to quit and where to get help, visit www.lung.org.
While the number of millennials smoking cigarettes is declining, the use of e-cigarettes in the state is skyrocketing among high schoolers and even middle schoolers. The Arizona Department of Health Services is launching a public awareness campaign called Vape is a Lie to teach youth the dangers of nicotine and e-cigarettes. This is one of the 3 public service announcements for the campaign. The campaign also features a website where you can go to learn about the dangerous chemicals found in e-cigarettes.
If you haven't gotten your flu vaccine yet, now is the time. Reporter Dana Lewandowski explains why the CDC is recommending only one option for flu protection this year.
My girls always freak out when they hear the word shot, and so we know, well, the nasal spray has always been available, well, at least the past few years.
But that may not be an option this flu season. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the American Academy of Pediatrics say that the flu vaccination in the mist form isn't recommended this year.
They found out that over the last 2 to 3 years, the efficacy of the nasal flu was actually less than what was expected, and even to a very low number, that this year they're recommending that we give only the injectable influenza.
In recent years, the nasal spray method represented 1/3 of all vaccinations given to children to avoid the needle. One parent believes that even though she knows her children have to get vaccinated, she doesn't want to deal with the suffering her child will go through.
That has a huge impact on whether or not we even go back to get the flu shot, because I don't want to have another giant meltdown and be afraid.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that each year, about 20,000 children under the age of 5 are sent to the hospital because of the flu. They also said that 85 children died after catching the infection last year. Although less painful, some parents never considered the nasal spray vaccination for their kids.
Well, I would go with the actual shot. I just think it's more effective on them.
While the nasal spray still may be available to patients, the level of its effectiveness has caused doctors to suggest against it and get the vaccination the old-fashioned way. In Phoenix, Dana Lewandowski, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Department of Health reports there have already been 38 laboratory-confirmed flu cases in the state since the beginning of the summer. The Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development was in Arizona today.
He unveiled a new policy to help protect families living in government housing. Coming up on Cronkite News, how the new policy helps protect victims of domestic violence.
And we take you behind the scenes of Monday Night Football to show you what it takes to make you feel like you're a part of the game.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Now.
Tickets are now available for the annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon, held Monday, November 21st at the Sheraton Grand Phoenix. Join media industry and community leaders in honoring this year's recipient, award-winning journalist and CBS Evening News anchor Scott Pelley. The annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon. cronkite.asu.edu/luncheon.
U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Julian Castro announced new changes that will help improve the lives of domestic violence survivors living in HUD housing.
Survivors can now obtain emergency transfers that will allow them to move if there's another safe and available unit. It allows the survivor to determine what constitutes a safe unit, so it keeps them in control of their own relocation.
Castro went on to say that the protection extends not just to survivors of domestic violence, but to survivors of all forms of sexual violence and assault, including dating violence and stalking. The announcement came at the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence Voice United conference. To hear all the changes presented by Secretary Castro, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is no longer running for office, but that isn't stopping her from touring the country on behalf of other candidates and for a cause. Sabella Scalise is in Washington, D.C., where Giffords' Vocal Majority bus tour made a stop.
Speakers at the Vocal Majority say this election is the one where voters can really make a change.
The Vocal Majority bus tour has been traveling the United States since mid-September, urging voters to elect representatives fighting for gun safety.
And as this gun violence crisis rages on, Congress right over there, has done something pretty remarkable. Not much at all.
Stopping gun violence takes courage. The courage to do what's right, the courage of new ideas. I've seen great courage when my life was on the line. Now is the time to come together, be responsible.
Giffords has been a strong advocate for gun safety since the 2011 attack that almost killed her. Now the group wants to get out the message of what happens when a gun enters a domestic violence situation.
And from 2001 to 2012, 6,400 American women were shot to death by an intimate partner. That's more than all of the American troops who've been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
If every one of us who cares about domestic violence, who cares about gun violence, votes, we can win this.
Kelly says voters should focus on all offices on their ballot.
Well, I'd like to see Hillary Clinton be elected president, and then candidates down ballot that we support get elected, and the candidates that the gun lobby support, we would like to see them leave and go do something else.
The tour will continue through November up until the day of the elections. In Washington, D.C., Sabella Scalise, Cronkite News.
Donald Trump is campaigning in Florida today. The Republican presidential nominee told supporters he believes his campaign is winning, despite the many polls that show Hillary Clinton in the lead.
I actually think we're winning. We're up in Ohio. We're up in Iowa. We're doing great in North Carolina. I think we're doing great in Florida. I think we're going to win Florida big.
Trump told farmers in Boynton Beach too much government oversight has hurt local growers, calling EPA regulations a total catastrophe. In the past, Trump has pledged to reduce government regulations on agriculture.
Challenger Hillary Clinton is campaigning in New Hampshire today, along with Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren took aim at Donald Trump's nasty woman comment in the last debate.
Get this, Donald. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart, and nasty women vote.
Clinton praised Senator Warren for her comments. She also accused Trump of declaring defeat in the battle to retake Mosul, referencing his tweets over this weekend. She says this proves he's unqualified to be commander-in-chief.
A new way to remember the Granite Mountain hotshots is almost finished. Coming up on Cronkite News, when you'll be able to walk along the new memorial.
Plus, we might be seeing showers on the way home tonight. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm always searching to feel like I fit into something.
We are the people that we are because of our past.
It's complicated. They said we never make it this far. But
I'm just one of many who stopped being silent.
They said the fight would break us. The struggle up to make who we are.
It's just proof of how far we have come.
Make sure in all the hustle and bustle, we don't lose sight of why we're here.
It all boils down to communicating the lives we live.
If you look closely, they've got a story to tell.
It connects with you in a very deep way.
We wish you love, peace, and soul.
Come with us on this great adventure.
A trail to honor the firefighters killed in the 2013 Yarnell wildfire will open late next month. The trail is a part of the new Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park. People can follow the trail to a ridge that overlooks where the firefighters lost their lives. There will be plaques honoring each of the 19 firefighters along the trail.
Halloween is yet to come, but starting today, you can officially cut down Christmas trees. The fall season for collecting live trees from Coconino National Forest begins today. Permits are available for certain types of fir and pine trees up to 12 feet tall. Forest officials recommend picking trees that are less than 4 feet for better chance of survival. And with the holiday season nearing, will our temperatures start to cool? Joey has your forecast.
Well, it certainly is unseasonably warm right now. As you can see, we're sitting at 89 degrees. It's mostly cloudy and the humidity is at 27% now. When we take a look at the rest of the state, basically what you can see is that the cloud coverage is going to sweep across to the north. There's going to be a slight chance that we see thunderstorms and showers to the north around Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon area. They might also sweep through the East Valley right here, but that's a minimal chance that we'll be seeing that. As we look at the high temperatures, you can can see 90 degrees in Chandler, 88 in Mesa, and 89 in Phoenix. So we're not too far off what they should be. But as we look into going into your 7-day forecast, you can see that the high pressure system that we're going to be experiencing throughout the week starts around Thursday when we hit 98 degrees, and it will continue throughout the weekend. But there's a chance that things will get cooler come Monday, which will be much nicer for this time of year. Joey Carrera, Cronkite Weather.
Monday Night Football has been entertaining millions of viewers for the past 45 years. But have you ever wondered what exactly goes into bringing the broadcast to life? Reporter Giselle Cancio takes you inside the production to meet the crew that makes it all happen.
Scattered around the University of Phoenix Stadium and in 5 trucks just outside, more than 300 people helped execute the Monday Night Football broadcast of the Cardinals-Jets game for ESPN. Quarterbacking the crew, former Sun Devil Chip Dean, director of Monday Night Football broadcasts since 2006.
A couple of years ago, we calculated that it was over 1,700 man-hours to build the show, to put it together. Just like in football, directing the game is combining all the talents of everybody on the show.
One of ESPN's original employees, he's no stranger to the sport. He played safety at ASU in the mid-1970s under legendary coach Frank Kush. And although the main objective is to televise football to the fans,
we try to elevate the moment or elevate the scene or be a good storyteller so that people are engaged with a story of a player or a coach or the moment in time so that it becomes an experience, so you remember something.
Being on time with the right looks, whether it's a replay or the right camera shot, we want to make sure that we are out front of whatever story it is.
While it only takes 3 hours for the Monday Night Football crew to break down and head to their next destination, it takes 3 days for them to prepare and set up for each production. Dean says they treat every game like it's a Super Bowl Sunday.
It's amazing, really, that every week we have this huge production and we move it from city to city, whether it's a few hundred miles away or a few thousand.
It's estimated that the Monday night team will travel over 30,000 miles across the country by the end of the season.
Thank you, guys. Nice job. Appreciate it.
In Glendale, Giselle Cancio, Cronkite News.
Valley native Jordan Sparks will perform the first national anthem of the Phoenix Suns home season. Sparks won the 6th season of American Idol at just 17 years old. The Suns face the Kings Wednesday night at Talking Stick Resort Arena. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Well, Halloween is just a week away.
And your carved jack-o'-lantern is slowly starting to rot. Coming up on Cronkite News, creative ways to dispose of your pumpkin after the holiday.
The confidence to lead our country.
This isn't reality television.
I feel like Hamilton reached out from history and wouldn't let me go until I told his story.
I make no apology for my actions. I would do the same again.
How have we come so far and yet have so far to go?
Right there, coming up.
In 1920s Melbourne,
Careful with the hand luggage. My pistol's in there somewhere and it may still be loaded.
Phryne Fisher is a detective.
Things could get interesting around here.
Thought they already were.
Who isn't afraid to live a little.
I hope you're not concealing a dangerous weapon under that skirt.
I'm concealing a lot of things.
Why do you think you could just run off on your own?
Because I'm carrying a gun.
The irresistible series, Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
Saturday night at 10 on Arizona PBS.
After Halloween, when pumpkins start to go out of season, there are environmentally friendly ways to dispose of them other than throwing them away. Cronkite News reporter Caitlin Greno shows us how to repurpose your pumpkins.
These pumpkins are ready to be taken home and carved into jack-o'-lanterns. But after Halloween is over, don't just throw it away. There are other options. Phoenix Renews accepts pumpkins at their site.
We anticipate getting a few, not a lot, but a few here, and it'll be great for our compost.
Recycled City also composts pumpkins this time of year.
All those pumpkins from all of our residential customers, homes, apartments, condos, all those pumpkins are going to come here, and we're going to compost them, and then they're going to go into the field and possibly grow new pumpkins for next year.
Four Peaks Brewery holds a pumpkin carving contest, and they partner with Recycled City to compost.
It's just better to just keep a smarter outlook on
what we're doing with everything now and what kind of footprint we're leaving behind.
McDonald's Ranch doesn't necessarily compost the pumpkins they sell, but they do repurpose their leftovers to benefit the community.
Any of the pumpkins that are still good, we try to donate them to any of the local charities that might, that are edible still, that might want to make pumpkin pies. There's actually a wildlife refuge up the road here that takes a pretty good bunch for their animals to play with and eat on too. And then we have a little bunch of cows that we feed all the rest of them to.
Composting is a good way to properly dispose of anything you might have.
I really do hope that people do this at home too. Like, it's great for a restaurant, but even at home, the more people that do it, the better this program is.
Enriching the land and putting less in landfills. In Phoenix, Caitlin Greno, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we'll learn about massive cyber attacks against major websites, and we'll get reaction to a recent documentary we aired on Saudi Arabian-owned farms in La Paz County.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, Margaret Warner reconnects with a Syrian activist she met 4 years ago, a man whose once high hopes have crashed in the face of the brutal war. Monday on the PBS NewsHour.
Well, that's it for Cronkite News this evening. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.